Oh man, this is bad. But I guess it was only a matter of time. Every single endgame PvM activity that I know of has a bot or multiple bots for it, except the Chambers of Xeric. I've investigated many rumors over the years about bots here, but I've never seen proof of a fully working, start to finish, raid complete bot. What you're seeing on screen is that. Multiple people have sent me footage of Chambers of Xeric bots. More specifically, it's a solo Chambers of Xeric bot. In the last few months, I caught Theater of Blood bots, and of course those were in teams. Also, there were huge waves of Tombs of Amasket bots when that activity launched. But from what I've heard, for both Theater of Blood and Tombs of Amasket bots, they get almost insta-banned. It seems as though Jagex has taken some sort of priority to policing those areas, probably to maintain the stability of best-in-slot item prices. Well, we have to hope, and ask them, to do the same with Chambers of Xeric. The rare drops from Raids 1 are iconic, and their prices have, over the long term, really retained their value. They fluctuate a lot, but they're still expensive. Now, I'm talking about the Twisted Bow, Dragon Claws, and Ancestral Robes. We'll be able to see it at the end of the footage, but the bot gets 55,000 raid points per hour solo. So in terms of GP per hour, the wiki says you can expect around 115k per 1,000 raid points. So the bot got 55,000 raid points in an hour, which means it's getting 6.3 million GP per hour. So a bot farm of 10 accounts gets 60 million GP per hour. Running 16 hours per day, it would make 960 mil per day from only 10 bots. Although if Jagex bans them rapidly, botters definitely won't make money, since the accounts and gear used will probably be pretty pricey. So if they get banned quickly, they'll lose a lot of money. Alright, let's calculate how many Twisted Bows per day a 100 Chambers of Xeric bot farm would bring into the game. The wiki says one kill count gives basically a 1 in 1,000 chance of a Twisted Bow. 0.0011 basically. 100 bots at 16 hours per day would output 1,600 kill count per day, so roughly 1.7 Twisted Bows per day, or around 50 per month. If it was a 1,000 account farm, it would be outputting 500 Twisted Bows per month. My point here is Jagex needs to make sure that doesn't happen. And this is really kind of the point where I can't think of any high level activity that's worth doing that isn't botted in the game anymore. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing any. I mean, I know the Inferno has bots now, the Coliseum, all 3 raids, God Wars, you name it, everything. So the footage ends with the bot doing one full solo run in basically exactly 1 hour, ending with 55,000 points. And in this footage, it gets an arcane prayer scroll, which is worth around 8 million GP. So I guess we just need to hope that Jagex does something. We'll be right back after this. Let me introduce to you Into the AM. You may know them for their graphic tees. They have tons of designs to choose from, so I highly recommend you take a look through their site. And they sent me a bunch of shirts, and the first thing I noticed when I put on an Into the AM tee is that they're absolutely buttery soft. They don't feel like your average shirt at all. My favorite shirt right now is probably the Red Rock Desert tee. It really reminds me of the American Southwest in sunny days. They also make great standard t-shirts and of course have tons of interesting graphic tees. The shirts fit really nicely around my shoulders. The company consistently comes out with new, great designs, as you'll see on their site. And remember, if you buy in packs, you'll get huge discounts. Save over $40 with a 6-pack or $60 with a 9-pack. So, click my link in the description to get 10% off these premium tees. Thanks to Into the AM for sponsoring this video. I got a tip that there's a broken Scurrius bot farm outside the entrance to Scurrius that has been standing there for 12 hours. So I went to check it out. First, this account has the Scurrius pet, and it's almost a maxed out Gmaul pure, but only 615 total level. Honestly, if I saw this account though, given the gear it's wearing, high stats, it looks like a pure build, I probably wouldn't think it was a bot. Well, whenever the boss comes into view, this account tries to attack it and also throws up its protection prayers, even though obviously it's behind the bars. That's a dead giveaway. It makes sense why botters would start targeting Scurrius due to the really fast melee XP per hour to train up new accounts. And I was sent footage of one of the Scurrius bot scripts out there. Apparently, they're actually also taking advantage of being able to alch while killing Scurrius, which is kinda OP. The bot is making 350k GP per hour from the boss loot. It's getting 65k magic XP from alching, and another 75k magic XP per hour from attacking the boss. So like 130k magic XP per hour and 350k GP. But obviously the account could also be training strength at like 70k plus strength XP per hour and the 65k magic XP per hour. Also, these accounts are super easy to spot given the high Scurrius KC and often bot-like gear. And from what I've heard, Jagex has been doing consistent high ban waves here just to clean them out. Do y'all remember when the Coliseum first came out, you got like 100 Sunfire shards from the first wave and we started seeing bots there? Well, Jagex lowered that to 80 Sunfire shards from the first wave, probably to nerf the moneymaker, but the method is still like 1 to 2 mil per hour with basically no requirements. And a few days ago I noticed the price of Sunfire shards starting to dip kind of suspiciously, so I went to see what I could find. And there are definitely lots of bots here. More than I saw before by a long shot. The first few I found were both ranged based and there were 3 or 4 in the same world. They all wore God or Black D'hide, Venator bows, and had about 600 total level but 99 range, some with already over 20 million ranged XP. Another world I hopped to, check out these 2 accounts. Full Obsidian and a Din's Bulwark. Granite gloves with an amulet of torture. They had like mid 90 stats, surprisingly 97 magic and 80 ranged as well. They're probably using Din's Bulwark for the special attack that hits multiple targets so that they can kill those 3 spawns in wave 1 quickly. Long story short, Sunfire shard prices are plummeting probably because of these accounts, and Jagex already tweaked it and I don't think it worked. I must get 5 to 10 tips per day about something weird happening at Soul Wars. So let's go over it. At any given time, there are 1 to 3 worlds, not dedicated Soul Wars worlds, that look something like this. Dozens of identical players playing the minigame over and over again. Now, this particular group wasn't using the exclusive clan Soul Wars portal to the east, which meant I could actually join and see what was going on and what their strategy was. Many of these accounts are top 200 rank in Soul Wars Zeal, and there are about 40 to 50 of them here from what I can see. And right off the bat, as the game starts, it seems like they're not bots. Only 1 to 2 of them move at a time, and they eventually all group up following one person. So I hopped in line too. Feels so strange playing a mini game with these accounts, like I'm intruding on their operation tucked away in a quiet world. Now the leader makes their way over to the opposing team's boss and starts killing it along with 25 other clones. It looks like the opposing team has about the same size of 20 to 25 players doing the same thing. So we do this the entire time for 15 minutes. There were 59 players in that game, and I think probably 4 of them, me included, were not one of these clones. And the losers get up to 40 zeal, winners get up to 60. And I think the clones are probably almost maxing it out, so let's say the clones on average get 50 zeal, between 40 and 60. And we have 55 clones. They do roughly 3 15-minute games per hour, so each clone gets 150 zeal per hour. 150 zeal, 55 clones, is 8,250 zeal, which is probably being spent on spoils of war at 30 zeal each. They can buy roughly 275 spoils of war per hour across all the accounts, and the spoils of war have an average loot of 80k. So, the group redeems a reward of around 22 million GP per hour from the spoils of wars. My best guess is that this is a manual gold farm, which honestly I'm pretty sympathetic to after interviewing a few gold farmers previously. It's a very different situation than botting. But this could also just be a determined multi-logging couple of players who are just obsessed with Soul Wars. Anyway, a lot of you were curious about what's going on, and hopefully this explains it. I'm getting lots of tips about bots running nature runes. Nothing new there, but what is interesting is the amount of stats these accounts have. Most have around 1,400 total levels spread out relatively evenly across stats, and all of them are in the 90s combat level bracket, way higher than most rune crafting bots. Not only that, but every single account has 85 construction. My best guess is this is to unlock the fairy ring within their player-owned houses that they probably use to get to Karamja. But that's kind of a big investment for bots to get all the way up to 85 construction. Nature runes are at 93 GP each, which is already pretty low. I remember the days when nature runes were 2 or 3 times that. Hopefully these bots don't crash them even further, but I think there are well over 100 of them active right now.